Nairobi County.
Political commentators and technocrats paint a picture of a president in full control of operations within his administration. While some characterize this style of leadership as being hands-on and decisive, others say it is a catalyst for personal meddling and threats that make it hard for state officers and public servants to independently do their work. Seth Olale takes a look at President William Ruto's leadership style and analyzes whether it is yielding results compared to his predecessors.
I, William Samoei Ruto.
President William Ruto's leadership style appears to be centralized. Some analysts have described it as one-man show where he appears to be managing every policy decision and at times casting his shadow over institutions that should ordinarily run independently.
It is not going to be business as usual.
He's one who knows what's going on. People who work for him, I've had them say how he will find out about particular meetings, want to understand the development of that meeting, what were the actions after that meeting, and even at State House, there are particular people who would go and be found in the waiting lobby, waiting for him, sometimes up to 4 hours, and I'm talking about very high-level positions. So he definitely knows what's happening across the country.
Must also appreciate that at the end of the day, the buck stops on his desk. And therefore, if the buck stops at his desk or on his desk, he has no choice other than to be hands-on and to ensure that he is able to deliver on all the promises and pledges that he made to the people of Kenya.
Making it possible for us to hold this cabinet meeting.
At the height of public debate on the Finance Act 2023, the president unilaterally asked Parliament to drop tax proposal contained in the then bill while engaging participants in the National Drama Festival Gala at State House. Unlike his predecessors, President Ruto rarely delegates high-impact duties directly touching on his mandate as President of the Republic. For example, in a memo dated April 3, 2023, Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service Felix Koskei directed corporations boards to seek clearance with his office before appointing or renewing appointments of chief executive officers of their respective parastatals. According to the State Corporations Act and Mwongozo, boards can independently pick CEOs. The boards are mandated to oversee the overall strategy and approve significant policies of the parastatals.
There is total State House capture of the entire edifice of public service as we know it. To an extent that these cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, and so on and so forth, have got no liberty to make independent decisions in the execution of their respective mandates. That, of course, brings with it very serious challenges in the sense that things don't seem to move, okay? As these officers keep on looking over their shoulders to see or to get the signals from the big man, as it were.
In appointing General Francis Ogola as Chief of Defense Forces, President Ruto, while addressing a live TV interview, said that he had 10 options to pick from since General Ogola had been allegedly implicated in the Boma's presidential election announcement fiasco. But according to the rules introduced by retired Chief of General Staff, General Daudi Tonje, popularly known as the Tonje Rules, the position of the CDF is rotated among Kenya Army, Kenya Air Force, and Kenya Navy. The president's engagement with independent bodies has also been questioned by critics. President William Ruto, during a live interview, revealed what led to the sacking of former DCI boss George Kinoti.
I don't think he handles criticism very well. I think that this particular administration struggles with it. They jump to social media to oppose certain opinions. They even oppose in very derogatory ways in public forums. I think it's indecent, and I think that it's something that they have to understand. It comes with their position, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to react the same way an ordinary citizen would react.
Sources within government circles say there is no room for mistakes or sleeping on the job under President Ruto's regime. The head of state, during the signing of performance contracts of state officers and senior public servants, stated that he personally calls and inquires on the happenings of various dockets and regularly asks for real-time updates.
How do you run a ministry or a department or a parastatal if you have no information? That is the highest level of incompetence.
The president's no-nonsense approach to strict supervision on operationalization of ministries saw the former health PS, Josephine Mburu, and the entire board at KEMSA dismissed over the mosquito nets procurement scandal.
I want to give you my commitment. I will clean up cancer, whatever it takes. Mr. President, whatever it costs.
Just months into office, President William Ruto embarked on a regional development tour in various counties, including Nyanza, Mount Kenya, and Western regions. Critics led by the opposition Azimio la Umoja view this as a campaign strategy for the 2027 presidential elections at the expense of delivering his 2022 campaign promises to Kenyans.
On the ground, things are very different, and as I say in Kiswahili, mambo kwa ground utapata ni tofauti. Therefore, President William Ruto is deliberate. Towards the end of the week, he will go out to the people who gave him the job, report to them what he's doing, what he has done, what he plans to do, and how he plans to do it. That way, it's part of the public participation envisaged in our constitution.
Be as it may, President William Ruto on numerous occasions has maintained that his leadership style does not matter much, and what matters is his service delivery to the people who will appraise him through the ballot in 4 years' time. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Jeffrey, regarding